Hi there, this is Peter McKinney and this is our Kidderminster Shuttle blog, looking forward to Harriers' first game of the season. They kick off the season with a very tough game against Grimsby Town, who just missed out on promotion last season in the playoff final and are one of the favourites for automatic promotion in the Vanarama National League this year. So a very difficult test for Gary Wild and his troops. But the manager is really looking forward to this game. He thinks it might be the perfect way to start the season. It's at Aggborough, there's going to be a big crowd. Grimsby have sold nearly 1,500 tickets by Wednesday afternoon, so obviously it's going to be a great atmosphere. But what Harriers really need to do is lay down a marker for home form this season. Their main aim this year is going to be staying up. Obviously the manager is ambitious and he's already talked about trying to do as well as they possibly can. He doesn't want to finish fifth or bottom, he wants to finish higher. But as the chairman said, if they can pay all their bills and avoid relegation this season, that will be job done. So how are they going to do that? Well, if they can get their home form sorted and make Aggborough a terrible place for opposition to come, then it will certainly go a long way to ensuring they remain in the National League next season. Unfortunately, the second half of last season, Harriers only won one game in 13 matches at the Aggborough, and they really need to sort of hit the ground running this weekend. Last season, though, there were mitigating circumstances, an absolutely terrible pitch which was affected by poor drainage, and the financial problems behind the scenes both came to the fore and conspired to throw Harriers off the rails last season, and the atmosphere around Aggborough was pretty bad by the end of the campaign. But there's been a lot of hard work by the chairman and the manager and board of directors to make sure the atmosphere and expectations are good going into the season. The fans have got behind the manager and the new regime and are backing the team. So what Harriers need to do on Saturday is just give it everything they've got. Even a heroic defeat to the Mariners would certainly win the fans over and give them the belief the team can achieve their aims this season. So fingers crossed with that. Harriers have brought in a young winger called Andre Wright from West Bromwich Albion on a youth loan. Judging by the videos on YouTube, he's certainly a talented lad, but it might be a bit much to ask the young man to score all of Harriers' goals this season. Gary Wild has certainly built what seems on paper a very competitive first team, and if he can avoid any major injuries, that team does look like it's capable of certainly remaining in the National League this season. So probably the big question mark is scoring goals. In Reece Dyche they have a very willing and impressive front runner up front who will lead the line and hold the ball up well, and I'm sure chip in, but he's going to need help from the likes of Joe Clark in midfield, maybe Adam Dawson and some of the other young players they've got on the bench. Obviously Grimsby are one of the favourites for the title this season, but they've got a few injury problems coming in with Marcus Marshall and John Paul Pittman doubts for this weekend. Along with them comes defender Josh Ganley, who of course was at Harriers for the previous 3 seasons. He left in somewhat controversial circumstances during last season, but he deserves a welcome return after being a fantastic captain and defender for Harriers. Obviously he reached the FA Cup 4th round and they nearly won the league when he was there as well, so a great servant to the club. So anyway, to find out how Harriers do against Grimsby this weekend, don't forget to check out our live match blog and our report online and read next week's edition of The Shuttle, and best of luck to everyone at the weekend.